Whatever happened to Girth and Mirth? My name is Eric, and welcome to the craziness that lives inside my head. According to Wikipedia, Girth and Mirth, G&M, is an organized network of social group for a gay subculture based on positive attitudes towards larger bodies and fat fetishes. First formed in San Francisco in 1976, early chapters were established in Boston and New York. Girth and Mirth gatherings were predecessors of the Convergence event, launched by the national affiliated Big Men Club, ABC, in 1986, and collaboratively organized with various G&M chapters in subsequent years. The popularity of Girth and Mirth clubs led to a broader chubby culture that intersected with bear groups in the early 1990s. Over time, Girth and Mirth chapters overlapped with or became absorbed by ABC, which itself was renamed the Big Guys Men's Organization, BGMG, in 2013. That's what happened to Girth and Mirth. I went to Girth and Mirth Club meetings, or whatever, at the Gay Center in New York City in the 80s. Again, it's one of those things. I was getting sober. I had to go. I went to AA meetings, NA meetings, OA meetings. I couldn't be home by myself, because when I'm home by myself, I eat myself to death. So I had to be out in the streets, and I wanted to, you know how that's. You're young. You want to meet people. You know what I mean. You want to have sex, and you can't have sex with people in the bars, because you have to stay away from the bars. You know, I have to stay away from the bars, but if you want to stay away from a drink, you know, you try to stay away from alcoholism and people who drink alcohol as much. So, Girth and Mirth turned out to be, in my opinion, a sober club. But I'm quite sure, I think I went to a Girth and Mirth social event, and they did have liquor. I'm not sure. But I joined it. And yes, I dated a couple of guys in Girth and Mirth. But Girth and Mirth was very interesting. It was for big men. Big men who likes big men. And I noticed when I used to go to these meetings in the 80s, and you may have 25, up to 50 guys at the meeting, at the Gay Center. But the thing is always, I hate to say this, but it's always 48 big guys and 2 skinny guys. And the 2 skinny guys looking for big guys. And if you were into big men and you were the skinny guy and you was into big men, you were in heaven. And and there was an incident where I dated a person in Girth and Mirth. I met him in Girth and Mirth. He came over to me. I mean, he was with other guys, but I guess he picked me for the night. Came over to me, and one thing led to another. Went home, and one thing led to another. And next thing I know, we were dating. We were going to dinners. We was going to movies, and we was doing all this. And then maybe about a month, we were dating for a month. Now, mind you, being that we were dating, we didn't go back to Girth and Mirth meet. There's no sense. You go there, you meet your man, you meet your mate. You ain't got no need to go back to there, because that's the only reason why you went there. You got your piece of meat, you know. So anyway. So after a couple of months, he said to me that a mutual friend, wasn't really a mutual friend, I guess he was, somebody who also was going to Girth Mirth, who was a big guy, somebody that I knew who was a friend of mine, a friend of his, and he says to me, "Oh, so and so wants me to have sex with him. Is it okay?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm not going to have sex with you. You're going to have sex with my friends." I said, "What is this? You have sex with your friends?" So to make a long story short, he dropped me and went with my friend. And then I heard he dropped him and went with somebody else. He was in heaven. He was in fat man heaven. Right there in Girth Mirth. Now, with a situation like that, I did go back once in a while. But I got, well, ever since that happened to me, every time I went to a Girth Mirth convention, or not convention, but meeting, it was like, I don't know, whore's paradise, being that the skinny guy was the whore. There was another time I met somebody at Girth Mirth. He was out of town. He was from Los Angeles. So he was there just for a couple of days. He cruised me, I cruised him at the meeting, and I brought him home. And yes, it was nice and everything. He started questioning me and the guys at Girth Mirth. How is so-and-so? Does he have a big butt? I said, I don't know. How did another person? Does he have tits? I said, I don't know. I said, what you asking me for? I don't go. I said, I don't go to bed with big guys. I go to bed with guys like you, skinny ones. So anyway, he liked another friend of mine. He really liked him. He said, yeah, I really liked him. He got a butt and all like this. Is his butt really that big? I said, no, I don't know. I said, I don't think it's big. Now, granted, the friend he was talking about, I was under the impression they met. But then I realized after he asked me so many questions about him, they didn't meet. They were pen pals. And he thought that they were, I guess he thought he was going to meet him at the Girth and Mirth party, which he didn't. So he met me, went home with me. He was questioning me about this guy. And all I said to him, I don't know if he has a big butt or not. So to make a long story short, a couple of days later, maybe a week later, the guy called me, the fat guy, my fat friend. I hate to use names unless I make up names, but I hate to do that too. Because I don't want these people listening to my podcast and start saying, you talked about me on your podcast. Well, anyway, if I'm talking about this, he knows who he is. Anyway, he calls me up, cursed me out because he said, he could have had the man. Yes, the man had a good piece. He could have had him. He said, but the man didn't want to come to his house because I told him he didn't have a big butt. I said, what do you get mad at me for? I don't know if you got a big butt. I never look at your butt. And he stopped being friends. He unfriended me just because of that. That's the stuff you had to deal with when you go to the Girth and Mirth meetings. It wasn't enough men to go around. If you're fat and looking for men, now you did have chubs who love chubs, but most chubby ones, not shouldn't say all chubbies want skinny man. I shouldn't say skinny man because I'm not too crazy about skinny man. They're too skinny. I'd be like, oh, you're too skinny. Now, getting on the same subject with the guy. Girth and Mirth had, the last time I've been to a Girth and Mirth meeting, it was an event. The event was in San Francisco. It was a conversion. I think I still have the t-shirt. San Francisco, 1996, San Francisco. I went there and I met another guy there at the conversion. God, he wanted to have sex with me. He was running me. He was just going after me. They had a buffet. He was at the buffet. They had a little dance party. He was at the dance party. I went on one of those, that charter bus to take a tour. He was there. Blah, 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 blah. I just wasn't interested in him. And then the last night, who did I meet? It was the guy from Los Angeles that I fooled around with that year prior. He was there. Of course, that's who I want. Of course, I chased. Now, I'm doing the chasing. I'm chasing around I'm behind him like a little puppy dog. Hey, how you doing? How you feeling? Remember me? He said, yeah, I remember you. So I said, how would you like to, because he was with some other fat guy. And I said, how would you like, since, come up to my room, my room. He goes, no. And then I got mad. I said, why? And he looks at me, he goes, don't you know once I have you, I don't want you anymore? Just like that. And I guess I was shocked. I mean, I was really shocked. I know everybody's a whore at the Girth and Mirth parties, but I was just shocked. I was in my 40s. I shouldn't have been too shocked, but I was shocked. And then right after that happened, now mind you, I told you there was a guy chasing me the whole 4 days at the conversion, chasing me down. He said, who was that? I said, that was somebody I liked, but they told me that once he had me, he don't want me no more. And then I got friendly with the guy who was been chasing me. I said, so how you doing? What are you doing tonight? Because it's the last night. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. I found somebody already. He's waiting for me upstairs. I just came down to get some drinks. Well, that's how it is. That's the last time I've been into a Mirth and Girth party. A Mirth and Girth a conversion, I guess you could say. That was 1996. Now, yes, they still have, I don't know about Girth and Mirth, but they have dating clubs for big guys. And they have bear clubs on, I shouldn't say dating, I hate to say clubs, dating lines for big guys. And they have a date line for bear guys, hairy guys. And yeah. But I guess, have I learned my lesson? I mean, what lessons is there to be learned? I mean, you got to be a whore just to get a man? You just heard the craziness that lives inside my head.